On to the last part, as Raditz and Goku pass away in this version of events, Piccolo chooses to not taunt Raditz about the existence of the Dragon Balls. Because of this change, when Vegeta and Nappa start their assault on Earth, they don't wait for Goku for 3 hours, because they have no idea that Goku was alive and simply assumed that he had died during battle with Raditz. Due to this, Vegeta and Nappa end up killing all the Z fighters, including Krillin. After this brutal confrontation, Gohan laid battered and barely clinging to life amidst the unforgiving wastelands. Thankfully, Goku finally arrives, first feeding Gohan a Senzu Bean before going off to confront the two Saiyans. After the brutal demise of Nappa at Vegeta's own hands, Vegeta, with his wounded pride, resorts to his Grade 8 transformation, crushing Goku without mercy. However, Krillin is deceased and unable to rescue them using the Spirit Bomb. Consequently, both Goku and Gohan perish at Vegeta's hands. Vegeta retreats back to Frieza Planet 79 to heal, while Frieza and Gero contemplate their next moves. So, how will the rest of this story play out? Well, these are questions we will answer today on Dragon Ball Z. Goku and Gohan reunited with the remaining Z fighters at King Kai's planet, their hearts heavy with sorrow. The absence of Dragon Balls on Earth, resulting from Piccolo and Kami's deaths, left them devoid of any options for resurrection. This loss struck hardest at loved ones, like Chi-Chi, whose grief was palpable. Meanwhile, Frieza, ever cunning, feigned the expansion of his forces. His true intent, however, lay in seeking out surviving Saiyans across galaxies. At the same time, Dr. Gero continued his self-modifications, enhancing Android 19 without a clear purpose, patiently anticipating Vegeta's inevitable return to Earth. Vegeta, having recuperated in the rejuvenation chamber, dutifully reported back to Frieza. Frieza dismisses Vegeta, telling him to complete his mission to complete his conquest of Earth. As Vegeta walks off, Frieza even contemplates the swift execution of Vegeta right there and then. However, with only one Saiyan left under his control, Frieza perceives Vegeta as more of an annoyance, not a genuine threat, hence deciding to spare his life. As Vegeta journeyed back to Earth in his spaceport, disaster struck as Vegeta's spaceport was targeted and shot down upon entering the atmosphere. Grinding his teeth in frustration, Vegeta hastily tore through the wreckage of his port, narrowly escaping before the port plummets to the ground. Cursing under his breath, Vegeta realizes he was now stranded without means of transportation. Turning his gaze towards the assailants, Vegeta only sees a humanoid figure. This was none other than Android 19. Despite its eerie appearance, the android remained ominously silent as he charged directly at Vegeta. Undeterred, Vegeta met the android's advance with a confident smirk, ready to confront this new adversary head-on. With his recent Zenkai boost, Vegeta felt stronger than ever. However, when he attempted to break free from Android 19's grasp, he found himself immobilized, unable to move an inch. Android 19 efficiently drained Vegeta's energy, leaving him powerless and struggling in vain. With each passing moment, Vegeta's strength ebbed away, until Android 19 finally completed its task, bringing an end to Vegeta's life. After the deed was done, Android 19 carefully retrieved Vegeta's intact scouter, recognizing its potential value. Dr. Gero had plans for such technology, aiming to utilize it to his own mysterious purposes. Meanwhile, Frieza received the report of Vegeta's demise through his own scouter. A smile crept across Frieza's face, though beneath it, a subtle curiosity stirred. Despite Vegeta not posing a significant threat to someone like him, the fact that someone capable enough to defeat him existed intrigued Frieza. It appeared that a visit to that planet was now inevitable for Frieza. Meanwhile, in Dr. Gero's lab, he wasted no time reverse engineering Vegeta's intact scouter to glean any intelligence on potential superiors of the fallen Saiyan. With his formidable intellect, Zero successfully taps into Frieza's scouter, allowing him to spy on Frieza's plans. Upon learning of Frieza's intention to journey to Earth, Zero swiftly begins his own preparations. Meanwhile, two new Saiyans arrive in Frieza's army. It was none other than Broly and Paragus. Frieza immediately discerned their Saiyan heritage, viewing them as promising assets. To put their capabilities to the test, Frieza decided to deploy Broly and Paragus to Earth ahead of his own arrival. Knowing Paragus harbored a deep-seated vendetta against Vegeta, Frieza casually mentions Vegeta's demise during a previous mission to this planet. He made it clear that if Broly and Paragus could succeed where Vegeta had failed, they will earn not only recognition but also a coveted position among the elite of the Frieza force, replacing Vegeta. Paragus eagerly seizes the opportunity presented by Frieza and promptly accepted his request. Upon their arrival on Earth, however, history repeats itself as their spaceports come under fire, forcing them to crash land. Miraculously unharmed, Broly wasted no time in demonstrating his extraordinary speed by blitzing Android 19 at close range, unleashing a relentless barrage of blows that left the android reeling. Android 19, despite being one of Zero's most formidable creations, found itself powerless against Broly's overwhelming strength. Witnessing this defeat was a stark reminder of the Saiyan's prowess, yet Zero remained undeterred, knowing that he had numerous schemes in motion. Without hesitation, he activated his next creations, Androids 14 and 15, briefing them swiftly on their assigned objectives. As Paragus and Broly rampaged through cities, leaving a wake of destruction in their path, Androids 14 and 15 lay in wait amidst the bustling urban landscape. Exploiting the Saiyan's lack of vigilance, Android 14 swiftly seized Paragus, dragging him into a shadowy alley and stifling any attempt to cry out by covering his mouth. With calculated efficiency, Android 14 drained Paragus of his energy before delivering the fatal final blow. Meanwhile, Broly, unaware of Paragus' fate, had separated from him to expedite their conquest of Earth. His mind focused solely on the task at hand, Broly continued to lay waste to everything in his path, his overwhelming strength and relentless assault proving devastating to the planet's defenses. As Android 14 disposed of Paragus and Android 15 maintained his position, the androids prepared for their next move. Android 15 and Dr. Zero remained concealed in a nearby alley, patiently awaiting their moment to strike. With Broly now separated from Paragus, the androids seized the opportunity to launch their ambush. Swiftly and silently, they pounced on Broly, their metallic limbs restraining him tightly, rendering him momentarily helpless. Broly's roar reverberated throughout the streets, his energy surging as his aura blazed with untamed power. Broly fought ferociously, struggling against androids 15 and 14 as he attempted to shake them off. However, Dr. Zero intervened with a swift release of sleeping gas from his cybernetic arm. Despite Broly's immense strength, this potent sleeping gas quickly overpowered his senses, leaving the Saiyan warrior incapacitated and vulnerable. Zero wasted no time in siphoning every ounce of Broly's remaining energy, his own power surging beyond his expectations. The sheer might of this Saiyan was definitely astonishing. Meanwhile, witnessing the failure of Broly and Paragus from afar, Frieza resolved to now personally descend upon Earth. His curiosity piqued by the unknown assailant who had eradicated the last remnants of the Saiyan race. Frieza set course, intent on confronting this formidable adversary. As events unfolded and power shifted hands, the stage is now set for a decisive encounter that will shape the destiny of Earth and the galaxy itself. So, how will the rest of this story play out? Well, these are questions we will answer in the next part on Dragon Ball Z.